I'm pulling a female, or whatever. The socks are going up to my knees.
Do females do that?
I don't know. Somebody does it. All right. 3, 2.
Females, can you confirm?
Lena Lauren, what do you think?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go. Welcome back to the Ayo Who Dis podcast, episode 26. I'm getting eaten up by flies. I don't know whose idea it was to be outside again. Today, we're going to do 36 questions of increasing closeness, but there's a twist because we already did a little bit of it last episode. This episode is part 2. That's Owen, I'm Alexander, and this is a table, and we also have some flies, but here we go. Yeah. Let's get started.
All right, go ahead, ask me the first question.
Okay, so if you knew that you would die suddenly, would you change anything about how you're living and why? Now this one,
what a good question,
right,
my friend Alexander.
Right? Yeah. My own question too.
So if I were to die, if I knew I was going to die in a year, I would absolutely change pretty much everything in my life. I would basically live, and this is a good question, I would basically live like a Make-A-Wish kid. You know what I mean? Like, no, hear me out, because once you know you have a year left to die, right? Why would you want to work for another 50 years? All the things that you're doing now for work, like, why would you want to contribute to society? Just go have fun at that point.
Yeah.
So I'm quitting everything I'm doing except for YouTube. I'll probably keep doing YouTube for a little bit, but in like a I can only do this for one more year, I'm just gonna have fun kind of way. You know what I mean? I would go and do there's a YouTuber which I really love. His name's like YBS Youngbloods. You should go look him up. You probably already know him, but he basically lives off like the coast of Australia and just goes like sailing for 7 days at a time. Or not sailing, but just on his boat, you know. And he'll catch fish with his hands and he'll cook it. And I love that life. That's what I would do. I think if I knew I only had 1 year left to live, I would go and sail for a while.
Okay.
100%.
It's interesting.
What about you?
So I spent a lot of time thinking about this question. And my answer would be, I would probably change just about nothing about what I'm doing.
Interesting.
Like, I really like my life, and so I don't think I would want to. I don't think I would want to intentionally change anything. But what would probably happen is I would probably talk to more people and be less like socially whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd probably be like, this literally doesn't matter, which is true anyways, to be honest with you. And I just, like, I would probably cut off my nights and probably, like, do something crazy every single night. Like, go out every single night or something, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'd probably cut off my nights, or I'd, like, do my nights differently, which I've been actually wanting to do anyways, to be honest with you. But, which I will, unless I, you know.
What would you want to do different?
What do you mean? Like
you're saying you want to do your nights differently? Like you said you wanted to do it?
I'm not sure exactly. I just know that I would probably be more like susceptible to yes. Like I probably wouldn't say no to anything that was like dangerous or I didn't want to. I was just like, whatever, I'm gonna die. Like I might as well do it. You know what I mean? And so, which is true anyways, to be fair. And so, you know, maybe that's something I should adopt now. But I really like the days that I have. Like I really like them. I don't think I would change too much.
You think you'd stay in school?
I would stay in school. I would keep working.
Really? Why?
I enjoy it, and I would drop out of school. I'd drop out of school, but I wouldn't stop doing YouTube. I'd probably, if I had a part-time job, I'd probably keep it. Like I just enjoy, like, the more that I try to like escape from this like ideal life that I would or wouldn't have at 20 years old, the more peace I find of like this is where I'm at right now and I really enjoy this, so why do something different? And I'm not just doing it for the returns that I may get later, but I'm definitely doing it significantly for that reason, but it's not the only reason. Like, you know, and who knows, maybe if I actually spent a year on that, I knew that I had only a year left to live, I'd be like, all right, screw everything I'm doing, you know, like I don't know what it would be like in that state, but I would like to believe that not much would change, because to me, it's when I hear people talk about like how they would change everything after, like, if they knew they were going to die in a year, like, why wouldn't you just do that now? You know what I mean? Because you're just going to die, like, you're just going to die eventually. It's just you're increasing from a year, hopefully, to... Bro, these flies...
Yeah. They're only going for you.
Can you believe that, bro?
Yeah.
But you're just increasing your, like... The statement's still true. It's just not a year. It's hopefully longer, but maybe shorter. Like, you don't know. And so, what would you do if you only had a year left to live? In my opinion, you should do that now and then forget everything else.
Yeah, I mean,
Unless
I can't
it's
really
like
answer for other
jumping
people.
off a cliff.
I can only
every
answer for
single time.
myself.
Yeah.
But I guess partly for me, it's if I were to only have a year left to live, I feel like I would be less worried about trying to contribute to society and leave a lasting legacy, and more worried about the hedonistic pleasures and just enjoying the rest of my life while I do it, like enjoying the time with my family. You know what I mean? So I guess I could do those things now, but it's the things that I want to leave after I'm like old and gone that I just.
Why can't you try to leave them within this year? You know, like a year's a long time.
Well, I mean, I try to do the things that I enjoy doing. Like, I don't go sailing every single day, but I do go out in the water in my kayak, you know. But I also want to help, I don't want to be just a waste on society and just taking contributions that other people have gone and using them for myself, you know what I mean? And so I want to spend some of my life working towards that and figuring out, like, okay, what's my purpose? How am I going to leave this world in a better place? You know, I just don't know if I would care about that as much if I only had a year. You know, I mean, these are the things that I see myself doing. I mean, not like now and future in my life. I just don't think I'd care about it as much if I knew that.
And honestly, I do want to say, like, I might be in the same position. Like, I don't know what it would be like to like get a notice from a doctor, hey, you only have a year left to live, kind of thing. And so this is all speculative, of course.
Right.
But I'm curious why, bro, I'm gonna kill somebody with these flies, and it's not gonna be a fly, it's gonna be a human. I'm just kidding. Don't clip that. Why is it different from, like, you're just increasing the number? You know what I mean? So why is that different?
What do you mean?
You only have a year left to live. You only have X left to live. That statement is true, whatever that number is. And so why is it different from 1 year to, like, however many years you end up living?
Like, how I act now?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if I know that I'm going to be living and I'm going to need money in 40 years, I can't just spend all my money, you know? And so that's one example of why I may act differently now, because I know I'm going to be alive in the future. If I were to die in a year, I wouldn't be worried about having kids or having a wife. But if I were to live for a longer time, I would be worried about that. And so I'd be like, I can't just spend all this money going sailing. I need to save money to make a house so that I can have a family and a good job. And like that's a bigger purpose. And I might lose that if it's just a year to live. And so I do try to do those things, but it's different because it's, like you were saying, like, longer instead of just a year. And so it's a different, like, risk to reward calculation, because it's literally a longer time.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know.
But I still try to, not to interrupt you, I mean, I still try to go out there and do the things that I truly enjoy away from contributing to society. Just the things that are hedonistic, like just pleasure for you, you know,
I
like
think
what
it's
do you enjoy?
important.
I think that's important
I don't
to know
think it
as a
should be
person.
ignored. And I think that's a great way to live, being able to balance those two things, like hedonistic pleasures and, like, how can I contribute to society.
Yeah.
I think both are important.
It's hard, man. I heard this like ethical question a while ago, and it kind of made me think hard. It's just like, do you think that it's ethically okay for somebody to, like, abandon society and go live in the woods in a cabin on his own? Do you know what I mean?
It's interesting. So
is that fair?
It's interesting because I was listening to some people talk about this relatively recently, and they were talking about how, like, meditation is really backed up in the data. Like, if you meditate for, like, 50 years, like, I think it was, like, I can't remember the amount of hours they said, but it was, like, a full-time job meditating for, like, 50 plus years, your subjective well-being increases by, like, I think it was, like, 4 derivatives or something, or standard deviations, not derivatives, standard deviations. And so that's, like, insane, you know what I mean? And so the people who are in those temples, you know, meditating and doing all these things for, like, 8 hours a day, their subjective well-being is objectively, like, in the data, it is significantly higher. Fact check me, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Yeah. And so that's it. So when it comes to, like, pure happiness, like, go do that. But I have an underlying, I guess, you know, Alex Hormozy calls it, like, a should in his life, you know what I mean? Like, which he kind of rejects the idea of, like, you should do this thing, you should do that, like, do what you want kind of thing. I kind of impose a should on my life of, I think that it is humanity's duty as being a human to help other humans. And so I think it's more of a balancing act of than should you or shouldn't you. But the question is really interesting, because something I struggle with as of recently is like flies. That's really what I'm struggling with at this moment. No, but something I've been struggling with as of recently, as I've been kind of deciding between, faith beliefs, not faith beliefs, whatever, is if nothing matters, which I don't believe that nothing matters, but if nothing like ultimately matters, meaning like when we die, and like everything just kind of stops. If that is the true, then why try anything at all? Because it's just gonna net zero. You know what I mean? Like if that's true, which who knows, we spend our whole lives on an arc of just canceling out zero. And I don't believe that as a result of that, nothing matters. We can get into that if you want, but like, why try if you're just gonna spend your whole life canceling out zero?
That's a great question. It's a hard question to answer as a 20-year-old, but I don't know. I actually heard something that it really helped me a lot. It was from an astrophysicist. His name is Brian Cox.
Boy, yeah.
Yeah, do you know who? Yeah,
of course, dude, love
very
him.
famous. You
My
probably
goodness.
already know him, but he was on it wasn't Joe Rogan, but he was on this panel where he was asked to speak, and the theoretical question was, if you had one message to say to all the world leaders, what would you tell them? And the reason I wanted to bring it up is because he talked about like us and our purpose in this world, and it was very interesting. He said, if you were to assume that we were the only living beings like in this universe, right? So there's no other aliens. We're the only ones that bring purpose into the universe. Like if humans weren't a thing, it'd be a lifeless universe, and there wouldn't actually be purpose in this universe. And so that alone kind of led me to believe, like, okay, just being alive gives me enough purpose to keep going. You know what I mean? That kind of helps me understand, like, okay, even if I die and I leave nothing left, like, I still have an inherent purpose here and a responsibility just because I'm living in the universe. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if there's any aliens out there. And then what he had continued to go on to say to the world leaders is, now you have a responsibility as the only living people in this universe to not screw it up and kill us.
Yeah.
Which I totally laugh. It's totally true.
It's so true, bro.
Yeah, like, we may be the only living people in this universe, and the world leaders, if you kill us, what's left? That's a crazy responsibility.
It's very easy to think small, like, how can this action make me more money?
Yeah.
But I think from
a galactic responsibility.
Yeah, from their view, they have to think about a lot more than that.
Yeah.
Which, that's another conversation, I guess. But yeah.
Hey, you want to go ahead to the next question? Or this is gonna end up being like a 5-parter.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
There's 36 of these, and we're on, like, what number was that?
I think that was number 19.
So, well, we'll see.
Yeah, number 20. You ready? Mm-hmm. What does friendship mean to you?
I'll tell you what I hate more than anything else is these flies. That wasn't an opposite, but let's see. What does friendship mean to me? So, like, how would I define a friend?
Sure. Interpret the question.
I don't know. Somebody I like who also likes me.
Interesting.
Somebody I like hanging out with who also likes hanging out with me. I think that's a pretty, like, yeah. A couple like things I see like in a friend would be like, just to kind of extend the just to kind of extend the answer a little bit. It's just like, I think friends serve different purposes. Like, you don't have to have one friend that checks all the boxes. Like, you can have a friend who you guys just play Fortnite and that's all you do, or you guys just go golfing and that's what you like doing. I think a lot of people try to like take this one friend and like move them into other, like, we play golf together, but then let's also try to go out together. I think that's great, and I think you should absolutely try that. But if you're not feeling it, then I don't think the whole friendship should be ruined over that. It's just like, we like golfing, let's go golfing sometime. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I think just top line definition, somebody you like hanging out with who also likes hanging out with you. What do you think?
I love that. I mean, I don't really have much of an answer. That pretty much summed it up for me. But yeah, I mean, when you get down to the actual like fundamentals of what friendship is, it really is kind of like that. It's just two people that choose to spend time together. You know what I mean?
I think that's
And I
one of the
get-
most beautiful things
yeah.
ever, bro.
I guess I don't even think enjoyment is. Well, I guess enjoyment is probably needed to be friendship. You know, just two people who enjoy hanging out with each other. I like how you put that. Yeah, nothing else other than. I mean, I have my own preferences for what friends is, but I don't think that's what
That
friendship
goes into
means.
enjoyment. Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess the question is asking, like, you know, what does friendship mean to you?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, like, I think
I don't-
people are different, you know? And so, I mean, we don't even, I think we've pretty much encapsulated this, but like enjoyment means different things to different people. And I think that's okay.
Yeah, yeah. I will say though, in like the outside perspective, or not the outside perspective, but like I'm always scared of these kinds of questions. The questions where it's like, what does this word mean to you? You know what I mean? Because I feel like a lot of the disagreements nowadays are just based on different definitions of the words that people are using, and so when people have like their own definitions of words, that scares me. But the question, I don't think is inherently wrong. I think it's a good question. Like, what does this thing mean to you?
I
you
think
know?
people need to agree on definitions of words if they're going to have
Yeah,
a discussion.
yeah.
But I think like subjectivity is like pretty fundamental to
Like,
definitions.
what does friendship mean, and then what does friendship mean to you, are probably two
I
separate
think,
questions.
yeah, the ability to have an intelligent dialogue on it would be like, we need to agree. We need to find common ground on what this term means.
Yeah.
You know? Anyways, next
Yeah,
question.
I think so.
What does friendship mean to you? What do you love in what roles do you love and, oh my goodness, bro, these flies I'm going to kill. All right, I can't memorize this in time, so I'm just going to say it. What roles do you love and affection play in your life?
Do love and affection play in my life?
What roles?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
It's a hard question to
Yeah.
answer because for me, I mean, there's two parts. There's the love and affection that and I guess there's three parts. There's love and affection that people afflict onto me. There's love and affection that I do to other people, and then there's the love and affection that I see that's not me, or like just complete strangers. You know what I mean? Now, the first one, to me, I have set myself up in a way that I mean, I think that every person around me definitely supports me. Now, not everybody that I talk to that's like day to day, we actually say I love you. I don't think we say that every single day, but I have a strong feeling that I feel loved by my friends, and I definitely love my friends as well. And well, first off, I mean, that's just a great thing to have, you know. But with me and my friends and my family, love and affection is even though it may not be explicitly said all the time, it is shown in a big thing. And I feel like and maybe this is just my mindset towards the outside world, but I feel like I see love and affection all the time. Like, I feel like the community around me is for the most part pretty nice people. I don't really see too many a-holes around, you know. I think even to strangers, people are pretty, maybe affectionate and loving aren't the best words to use for it, but they're nice to people. So I see it to myself, I see it in myself to other people, and I also see it in the people that I don't even know. And I guess that's the role it plays. And I think mindset has a big part of that, in seeing those external things and seeing what you think about them.
Like you show affection in different ways depending on the person as well.
Yeah.
You know, so you love in different ways as well.
What about you?
You know, there's not much I can say that you haven't already said. I think we pretty much agree on that. Like all the people around me, I feel do love me, you know, and I think I love them as well. And depending on the person, I show affection in different ways. I am currently in a season where these flies are just beating me up.
Get me every time.
No, but I am currently in a season where I'm not experiencing too much receiving in basically every realm, like pretty much across the board. And I think that's okay. I think that's just a part of being a 20-year-old. You know, you feel like the world hates you. Which I don't feel like the world hates me. But, you know.
All the other 20-year-olds.
Yeah, every single other one does except for me. And so, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it right now. But I'm chilling. And I think love and affection, I agree. I see it everywhere. All right, let's see.
Sounds good. I think it's my turn to ask.
Oh, yeah, my fault,
thank
my
you
fault.
very much.
Sorry, my bad.
You ready?
Yep.
So 22 says, alternate sharing something you consider about. All right, alternate sharing something you consider a positive characteristic of your partner, and share a total of 5 items.
Positive characteristic.
All right, I'm down
hit
to
me
take
first.
turns if you want.
Sure.
Okay, so I think that you are very, very, and I respect this about you. You are very to your systems, and I have a hard time doing that in my life. And so, being able to see that in a friend of mine, I think is awesome. It helps me. So I think that's a totally positive characteristic.
Thank you. I think that you are really good at ignoring these flies. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I think you're probably one of the smartest people I know, if not the smartest our age. I think that's been a constant from like 5th grade till now. You're just a very intelligent person. Your baseline of intelligence is very high.
Yeah. I think you're really tall. No, I'm just kidding.
I think you have brown hair, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, but bro, flies don't actually like bite me. I swear, this is on a tangent as well. But they genuinely dislike my.
They're not biting me. They're just like flying on me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They genuinely just like dislike me. I don't
Maybe
know
I'm
how to
smelling.
explain
They're
it.
coming towards me.
I don't explain it. Positive characteristic. What are you laughing at? Okay, I mean that's actually a really good one. I like the fact that you can make banter in almost any situation that we're in. You know what I mean? Like I haven't really been in a situation where I'm like, okay, this bad thing's happening and I feel bad about it. You know, like bad things happen to us and we have the best time through it every single time, and I love that.
I love that too. I love that too. That was my second one. The sense of humor.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is a good one. I was actually thinking about this earlier today. You never complain about things, like ever. Like you have a problem or you feel some type of pain, physical or whatever, and you just hold yourself exactly the same. Like regardless of how your day is going, I wouldn't know unless I asked. Like you're just constant. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
I think that's really powerful.
I appreciate that. It means a lot. For you, I would say I really respect, and not just respect, but I think it's actually a positive characteristic. The fact that you're focused like now on the spiritual side of yourself. I see that, and I actually think that's a really good thing that people are just the people our age nowadays that either they're not focused on it or they've already made their decision on it and they've kind of made their choice, so they kind of just do their thing, you know. But you're actually sitting there and you're contemplating and you're thinking about these things, and I think that's a really positive characteristic. I mean, especially at this age, I mean, that's a very mature thing to do, is to be able to look internally like that, and I respect that. I think that's totally positive.
It's a long road. Let's see.
Yeah, it is. Never ending, is it?
Yes, literally.
I wouldn't even know, dude. I haven't done nearly as much research as you have.
We can get into it if you want, but not right now. I think it's really important. Maybe there's be a question that asked it. Let's see. So you, I like how in whether it be like social situations or like situations in general, your default is to help other people. Like I noticed, well, actually I can't say that, but I noticed when what examples can I say? Let's see. Let's just say we're walking in the mall with a group of people. Your first instinct will be like, all right, how can I make everybody else have a good time, you know? And I think that's great, and I've tried to adopt that like fully. I think it's fully a good thing.
I appreciate that. For you, what was I gonna say? This was like actually a really good one. It was the positive characteristic that I would say for you. Dude, this is frustrating me because I was just like, damn, that's a good one. The fact that you're able to say the things that you're working on in your life and just do them. That is one of the best, like most respectable characteristics that I've ever seen, and that is so much harder to do than it sounds like. It's to be able to say externally to people, hey, listen, I've been looking into doing this thing, and you just go out and do it regardless of what people say or what you're thinking. You just go out and do it, and that's awesome to me.
Yeah,
that's my number 4 for sure.
Thank you. All right, am I on number 5?
Yeah.
Okay, number 5 is and this is literally like I was also thinking about this morning too. It is like the greatest thing ever. I'm so thankful that you have this. It's the ability to I don't even know how to put it in the word, your communication ability and your ability to admit when you're wrong, or your ability to change trajectories. Super helpful with this, partnership thing we got going on. Like you just will hear me out even if my opinion is completely different, and you will either hold your opinion if you think it's true, or you will change your opinion if you don't think it's true. But I know, and I can have faith that whatever you're thinking, you're not thinking because of ego or because I want to be right. You're thinking because, no, I think this is genuinely a better option. I think it can propel us further. And that makes everything you say hold a level of weight that I really like take into account when I'm thinking through things.
Awesome. That was actually going to be my fifth one for you too. Was the communication one, but
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and change it.
So valuable, bro.
Yeah, dude. It's
Literally,
crazy.
it's so.
You guys don't
it's
understand
insane.
being in like a one-on-one where there's not even a third person to be like, okay, this is.
Bro, I don't know how Dude Perfect did it, bro. 5 people.
Five
would have been
people?
insane.
Shoot, maybe it's even easier. You
think?
I don't know. Do you think they had like a leader that decided like choices?
I don't know. I mean, Tyler, I think is like
Yeah.
brand on top in the brand, but I
Yeah.
think they all probably hold the same amount of equity. I'm not sure.
I got
Who
you.
knows?
Interesting. Good to know. 5. This is my last one for you. I think it's a totally positive characteristic that you're so like in tune with like what you need to do for your health and how to like achieve it. You know what I mean? Like you're hitting the gym pretty much every single day. Or maybe you disagree with that, but I think whenever I hear you, you're like, yeah, I hit the gym at 6 a.m. this morning. I'm like, damn, bro, like 6 a.m. I was just heading to bed. I just finished my Rocket League tournament. You know what I mean? And he's in the gym, and that's awesome to me. That's totally positive.
Thank you. Appreciate that. That was
Yeah,
good.
yeah. I think yeah.
All right, next.
Well, that was 4 for you.
No, I hit 5.
Last thought I started. I trust you.
Oh wait, no, I could do a 5th one. Was that 4 or 5?
I think that was my 5th, and then you're.
Okay, do I hit one more?
5th. I think so.
Okay, let me think.
Go ahead and do 5 more. I mean, I'm kidding.
Let's see. I like how you have a standard for yourself that you meet, and what I mean by that is like an example of that would be like, all right, I want like if I'm going out today, I want to look nice. I want to hold myself to like a bar. Like I'm not gonna make a fool of myself. I'm not gonna make a fool of myself to like make other people like me. Like I'm gonna hold myself to a bar that I see fit. You know what I mean?
That means a lot to me. I appreciate that.
All right,
I'm ready
let's
for the
see.
next question if you are.
Me too.
Let's do it.
Okay, I'm just gonna do this because I can't memorize this enough. How close and warm is your family? Do you feel your childhood was happier than most other people's?
Well, first off, my family is definitely. I don't want to compare it to average because I don't want to compare it to other families.
I don't
But I
even know
think
what
that
average is.
I know that's what I was saying. Like I feel like my family is very close and warm. Close. I'd say. Yes, I mean, me and my family, we still talk every week. We still try to meet up at least like every month, So I'd say we're close. Warm? Yeah, I'd say warm. I mean, we're definitely like easygoing, but like sometimes, I won't talk to my sister for a couple of weeks and I'll come back and it'll be like a little bit awkward cold for like a couple of minutes, but then we'll kind of just get used to it. But we got like our own kind of dynamic now where we talk, but we talk a little bit. So yeah, I'd say my family's close and warm. But there was the second part of the question. What was that? Do you feel your childhood was happier than most other people? So this is comparing specifically. Do I feel that mine was happier?
The reality is we have no idea.
Yeah.
Like let's just say that right. Like we
I
have
think
no
so.
clue. But
yeah. I mean, I bet that my family was happier than most other people's. I mean, my parents both loved me. I think they that's what they said at least. I felt loved. They put me into sports. They cared about my school. They were genuinely the best parents I could ever ask for. So, yeah, I think my childhood was happier than most other people's. I guess.
So warm is not what I would describe my family as. I wouldn't describe them as warm, but my parents cared about me more than they cared about anything else on the face of the earth, me and my sister. And I'm very close with my sister, and so I'm very close to my whole family. But especially my sister, we're very close.
Yeah, warm is hard to define.
Yeah,
so,
I don't even really know what that means, but yeah, both those things are true, and I definitely think my childhood was happier than most. Well, I mean, first of all, I have no idea, but second of all, it probably was because I literally won the lottery in parents. Like I got the greatest parents ever. They did everything that like parents should. Like if I don't succeed in life, it is 100% my fault. Like I'm in the most perfect position to succeed ever out of anybody ever, and so it literally won the lottery. Like I won, and so I'm so lucky for that.
Yeah, we really have no excuses, do we?
No excuse, bro. If I fail,
if I fail
this YouTube thing, I suck, and it's literally my fault.
Yeah,
No
you know how
excuses.
often I think about that. Like, wow, my parents really set me up good.
Seriously,
Like, it's all on me.
Literally,
now. I can't blame a single thing on
Yeah,
parents or
seriously.
anything external. But
Oh man.
yeah, that's a good answer. You ready for the next question? Sounds good. Computer keeps turning off, but I think I'm next. The next one. There we go. All right. How do you feel about your relationship with your mother?
Does it actually say that?
Yeah. No.
Let's see.
How's your mom?
Haven't seen her in a while. So, me and my mom clash. We clash pretty heavily. We just differ on basically everything ever. She's she's a great person. She always wanted to have kids, and she loves me with her whole heart. And like if I ask her for something, she will immediately be like, all right, now this is on the list of things that I need to do, and it's actually like on the top. Like she prioritizes me and my sister more than anything else. She's a great mother, but we clash. We disagree on basically everything. She doesn't like the way that I'm doing things, and a part of the reason why I haven't told my parents about YouTube is because my mom would never let it go. At all. Like she would hate the idea. She would literally like, hey, I want to do this probably until I die, and she'd be like, yeah, you have no idea, like, you know, you're 20 years old, you don't know what you're talking about. And the reality is she's right, you know what I mean? And I think that's what bothers me
I don't think so.
even more. But whether she's right or wrong, I am 20 and I can't accelerate my intelligence until what I may or may not think at 30. Like all I can do is what I think I can do now, and this is what I think I can do. And I don't think she gets that. She wants me to go to college, which I am in college. She wants me to get a job, like a normal job. I think even if I made one at YouTube, she'd still want me to be like, hey, you should get when's the real job coming, you know?
Interesting.
And I just think, that could be frustrating, but like I said, I literally, those are micro, I got so blessed. It's not even funny with parents and family. It's not even funny. Mm-hmm. But yeah, what about you?
Yeah, you think that's why you didn't? I haven't told them about YouTube yet.
I think it's probably a really big part of it. I wouldn't if they found the channel, I wouldn't be like, oh no, this is gonna be the whatever.
Yeah.
But a big part of why I haven't told them is just because she would probably never
I know this isn't part of the question, but you think they'd react differently, or would it be similar?
I think they'd think the same things. My dad would stay silent about it. Maybe I don't think he'd try to help me, but maybe. And my mom would be very open about her how she's feeling, but they'd feel the same way.
I see.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Which is not even like I'm doing anything correct. Like I'm not taking any big risks at this current moment, but I know eventually I will have to take a big risk if I want to do the big things that I want to do. Yeah. And I don't think they'll be happy about that.
So I guess I got a question. So there's how you feel about your relationship with your mother. So now the question is, how do you feel about your relationship with your mother?
It can be frustrating. It can be very frustrating. I think that I don't respect many people's opinions, but the opinions of people I do respect, when they disagree with me, it hits hard. And my parents, they're like my parents. And so, I've gotten maybe I shouldn't put them on blast like this, but I've gotten the one thing that hit me pretty hard. And by the way, not victim, phenomenal parents. I want to just make that super clear. Life is amazing. I live a phenomenal life.
Yep.
I'm not complaining. I'm not victim. Nothing like that.
You guys got to understand, these are deep questions. This is hard to answer.
There's nuance to this. Right. But literally a phenomenal life. I wouldn't change anything.
Yep.
But I did get one time that hurt a little bit was you got to let these I was talking about something relatively similar to YouTube, in the same vein of what I want to do with my life, and they were one of them was you need to kind of let this go. It's time to let these, I think the word delusion was used. You need to let these delusions die, and it's time to it's time. You need to stop. We entertained this for a while, but you need to stop. And that one really hit home. And so it's frustrating. It can be, obviously demotivating or whatever, but I love my mother. I think she's great. I think she cares about people. I look up to a lot of how she can talk to people and things like that. And so, those aspects I'm really grateful for. but other aspects can be very frustrating.
Yeah, I got you. Absolutely.
What about you?
Awesome. So, I'll start with my relationship with my mother, and then I'll go into like how I feel about it. You know, so me and my mom is sort of similar to you. I wouldn't say it's to the same extent. We clash on a lot of stuff, but I'd say that it's a lot of kind of just smaller day-to-day stuff that I'm doing. Like I'm super grateful for this. My parents give me a lot more of like freedom with the direction of the long-term things, because they're kind of like, they don't fully know either. You know what I mean? So they're kind of like, we don't know exactly what's going to be best for you, so we kind of give you the freedom to do that. So that definitely helps with the connection and the relationship to my parents. You know, I mean, they allow me to do the things that I feel are right, and so I can still go home and I feel like I'm in a loving home. And so first off, I mean, the relationship with my mother is, for the most part, great. I mean, we don't disagree with the big things, and for the most part, we don't really talk about the big things because we may disagree about them. But she asked me, you know, how my day's going. I tell her about it, and I tell her even about this YouTube stuff. You know, I'm hanging out with Alexander. We're going to get the tripod, and we're going to go play. We're going to use random objects at tennis. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they're like, okay, sounds fun. Have fun. You know, if you need anything, just let me know, and that definitely helps. How I feel about that relationship, I mean, I can't say a single thing bad about it. You know what I mean? Obviously, I love my mom, and there's no but to that. You know, it's just I love my mom. I feel that our relationship, I suppose, if anything, I could probably hang out with her more. Like, I could hit her up more.
Me too. By the way,
yeah,
me too.
Right.
For sure.
I think she understands that I'm also just 20, and so she gives me that freedom to be able to go out and do this kind of stuff. You know. And I'm surprised she hasn't even like asked you about YouTube or anything yet, or like what we even do.
I don't think I've seen her in a while.
Yeah.
You always pull up to mine. I'm never pulling up to yours. Your house is like a zoo at the moment, so it's a little rough.
Yeah.
There's people of all age ranges pulling up.
If you think this is loud, guys, try to do a podcast at my house.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, yeah. But I don't really know what else to say other than that. To be quite honest, there's nothing too controversial. Yeah, we keep it.
Am I next?
I think so, yeah.
Bro, you gotta turn this computer off.
Bro, I don't know how. It's a new laptop.
You want me to do it while you're talking?
Can you do that?
Yeah.
How do you do it?
New laptop with the same Windows.
Well, yeah, but Windows 11.
Oh yeah, that changes everything.
I'm just kidding. I didn't have it on my last laptop.
I'll change it while you're talking.
All right, so we're now on set 3, guys. There's three different sets in this, 36 questions. Each set goes up in what is it like?
Deepness.
Like deepness. Like harder questions.
So if you thought these questions were deep, stay tuned. Am I asking you?
Yep. So I think at the start of set 3.
Make 3 true we statements. For instance, we are both in this room feeling.
Okay.
That's an interesting one. I'm gonna change your thing while you're doing.
Make 3 we statements. We both enjoy making creative things. So 3 we statements. We are outside. No, I don't.
We are outside.
Well, it said like we are in a room doing something, so I was trying to go along those lines. But this is hard.
I can't find this stupid thing, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I see.
We're
both in our 20s. I don't know what to say. Trying to figure it out in the world. There's 2.
There's 2, sure.
And then we both. What to say? We both like similar humor. There's 3. I don't know.
I'll go through this quick because it's a little weird question. We're both dudes. We both have a podcast. And we both are just MLG gamers, you know?
Not dudes.
Major League gamers.
Yeah,
MLGs. All right, hit me with yours. Yeah.
Complete this sentence. I wish I had someone with whom I could share.
Ooh. That's a good question. I wish I had someone with whom I could share. Somebody I don't already have.
YouTube channel.
Share a YouTube channel. I already have somebody who I can share a YouTube channel with. I would. Oh, this is a tough one. Who? I wish I had someone who I could share experiences with. There's not somebody I know who I can text up and go, yo, let's go on this trip to, wherever. Like I can text somebody and go, yo, let's go to freaking wherever, like here. But there's not somebody I can go to say, hey, this weekend, I'm thinking we go to Jamaica, or not Jamaica, like I'm thinking we go to, I'd never say this, but I'm thinking we go to the beach.
Don't
or
lie.
like the mountains or something. I don't really have somebody who I can do that with.
Yeah.
And so, what about you?
I never end up saying this, but every once in a while, part of me wishes that we did or part of me fantasizes about doing half the YouTube work and spending the other half of that time on just that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
We should talk about that. Let's talk about that off camera.
Dude. Okay.
Because that's
I would love to.
Yeah, I'd love to do that too.
I would love to.
Scheduling, we'll figure it out. Let's talk about that off camera. Maybe it could be like a quarter, 3/4. We'll talk about it.
I wish someone that I could. Wait. I wish I had someone with whom I could share outdoor walks with. Honestly.
Oh, that's
I
so.
really
that's a good
enjoy.
one.
I really enjoy outdoor walks and just nature in general, and it fills me with contentment. And I feel like it would be even more if I had somebody that I could share those walks with. I suppose
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
Let's see. If you were going to become a close friend with your partner, okay, please share what would be important for them to know. Okay.
I'm big on communication. let me clear that out of the way now.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll tell you, it's important to know about me, if you were to become close to me, is that I will try my best to wake up early for things, but sometimes I just sleep through my alarm, and you just need to accept that. I'm sorry.
That's surprising to me. I've never, it's never happened.
Never seen that before.
No.
Yeah, but that's probably something important to know if we're gonna be friends.
Let's see. Or do you have more, or is that it?
That's the first one that comes to my mind, but if you got one, go
First
ahead.
one that comes to my mind is I'm going to talk.
We're already close.
Yeah, true. First one that comes to my mind is I like talking about business stuff and work and what I'm doing in work, right, more than basically everything else, with the exception of a couple things, and so that's mostly going to be what I'm talking about. So I think really close friends of mine would be able to not only be all right with it, but be actually interested,
Yep.
And with you, it's easy because we do the same thing.
Yeah.
So, GG.
Awesome.
Sick.
Sounds good.
You got it.
You ready for the next one?
Yes, sir.
All right, sounds good. If we, all right, 28. Tell your partner what you like about them. Be very honest this time, saying things that you might not say to someone you've just met. So, we've already met.
Yeah,
before.
let's skip.
I'm really okay with skipping this. I feel like we already did that with the.
We've done that one multiple times already.
Yep. Share with your partner an embarrassing moment in your life.
Fifth grade Rubik's Cube.
Bro, that's the first thing I thought of. That's why I giggled. That's so funny.
All right, let's see. An embarrassing moment in my life.
Yeah.
Probably the most embarrassing moment in my life. Well, Yeah, no.
Or it doesn't have to be the most embarrassing, but just an embarrassing moment in your life.
Okay, I think I've said this on the podcast before, but this is kind of funny. So I was walking in high school. I was walking down in a hallway, as you do.
Yeah.
And it was an empty hallway. I was late for class for whatever reason, and then one of my old teachers came out. My old apologetics teacher, funny enough. And so he's walking, and I'm walking. He's like, "Hey, dude." I'm like, "Hey," and then he reaches out his hand. I'm like, okay, so what do I do here? It was fully his fault, by the way. I just want to say, he reached out his hand like this, or I'm so by his waist, but for the audience, like this, and I'm like, okay, it looked like he was going for a dap up, but I'm not gonna dap up my teeth, at least I didn't do that at the time, and I went and I was like, okay, maybe shake his hand, but we've never shook hands before, and so I just go, and I just hold his hand. I don't do anything. I just hold it for 3 seconds, and then I let go, and then I just bolted to class, bro. And bro, oh man, the way I walked into math, I think it was math class, and I just was something terrible just happened. It was awful.
That's horrible.
Bro, I think about that way too often, and I'm curious if he thinks about that too.
That makes me cringe.
Yeah,
man.
that was rough, bro.
That
That,
makes
was
me
rough. What about you?
There's always that one student.
Yeah, I'm that
That's
guy,
crazy.
bro. I'm that guy. I was indecisive. Whatever. Anyways.
What grade was that?
It might have been 12th.
Oh,
to be
God,
honest with you, it might have been. It was
dude.
either 11th or 12th. I think it was 12th actually.
I was hoping you'd say like 6th, 7th grade.
No,
maybe.
it might have been 12th. It might have been senior year of high school. It was either junior or senior year of high school.
God, you're still thinking about that, I bet.
Oh, all the time,
yeah.
bro. All the time. It was horrible.
Mine's actually all the way back in, I think it was either 2nd or 3rd grade. And I still think about this to this day. So we went to the St. Mary's Elementary School. Do you remember the gym teacher?
Yeah.
I'll call him Mr. Smith. Well, Mr. Smith was a very... I don't know why he had a vendetta against children, but he just disliked
he
kids in
hated
general.
everybody.
And he hated me because I had what's known as hemophilia, and I've explained this on the podcast before. But for a while as a child, I had to have this little port right here where you get injections, and that's not even
like
part
a
of the
bump on-
story. But,
like a
but either
bump.
way, he didn't like me because I have to sit out sometimes, and he didn't see the reason why. But we were sitting there, and once a month, like on that last Friday of the month, the whole of the grade would all go to the gym room, and there'd be this massive TV, and we'd all play Just Dance, right? So like,
Actually?
yeah. So
Dang.
there's like people on the
Why'd
screen
they stop
dancing,
that when I
dancing with
pulled
it.
up, bro?
Yeah.
Can you believe it?
Well, a lot of times there's like just 20 or 30 minutes where you just be sitting on the ground just waiting for it to start, and you're not allowed to talk, or you're allowed to talk to people, but you can't like dance for some reason or talk even though there's music going.
Yeah.
Well, either way, I'm sitting there at the front, like I hear the music going, so I get excited as hell, as a little 3-year-old kid would be. I start hitting the worm, and he turns the music off and stops it and looks at me. He takes me to the very corner, and he's just like, "No, you're not allowed to dance." And that was so embarrassing to me. Like, why would he do that?
Bro, what?
I just wanted to hit the worm.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was embarrassing because he did not have to stop the music in front of all the people
on the intercom.
Yeah.
Owen Higgins in the front left. What are you doing?
So now the music's off, and I'm just sitting there like doing the worm.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah,
That's more funny than embarrassing. All right, let's see.
I was not funny at the time, I'll tell you that.
When did you last cry in front of another person or by yourself?
So, are those two different questions or one?
I don't know. I mean, there's two different question marks.
Okay. So, wait. Okay.
So answer them separately?
Yeah, so I'll go separately. The last time that I cried in front of somebody else was actually not this last birthday that I had, but the birthday before that. For some reason, for the past couple of birthdays, other than this most recent one, I've just had like an epiphany, or not an epiphany day, but I'm just like, wow, this is my life, like a checkmark day, and I'm just crying the whole day, and it's very I wouldn't even call it emotional, but kind of just like leakage. So the last time I cried in front of somebody else was my mom on my birthday last year. The last time I cried in person, and before this time, it was probably a good like maybe 6 months ago, something like that. But other than that, it was actually like 2 or 3 days ago. It was while I was at college. So I'd had a sickness this last week, and I ended up losing a ton of weight over it. And I was just horrible. Like that, the weight loss and the malnutrition caused me to just be in a bad mental state. That's not actually what made me cry. What made me cry was after a day or two of actually eating again, I was finally like feeling good again. And I was, let's see, what was I doing? I was like watching YBS Youngbloods, I was, no. This is exactly what it is, I'll tell you. So, you ever know the Hamilton soundtrack?
Yeah.
I used to be big into it as a kid.
I know.
Like, massive into it. And so I was sitting there a couple of days ago, I was listening to Hamilton.
Okay.
Like, singing it, like, because it just got emotional. I felt like I was him,
Okay.
and like I was going through all of this.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, if my man is 19 years old, got a trip, like a charter to New York and at King's University, and he's fighting a war and a revolution, what am I doing? You know what I mean?
Bro, yeah.
And so I was like, damn, like he's a year younger than me, doing all of this stuff, and like that was emotional to me. I think the emotions of eating again, like all of my emotions and like my my hormones started like flooding back, and so I was already like
were alone in
I
the
was
apartment?
genuinely emotional, like I was in an emotional state.
Okay.
Then I started listening to Hamilton, and I started crying. I was just like, wow, like that's crazy. But yeah,
sir.
that was the last time.
Okay.
Not even out of sadness.
So I know I know them both. Okay, so the time that I cried in front of somebody else, I think it was like a year and a half or a year and like 3/4 ago when I went through like my first breakup. It was awful. Tears were rolling. That was a big cry moment. And then the one where I cried alone, bro. I went to see Tom Cruise Mission Impossible the other day. Oh, bro, I literally teared up at the end when, I'm not gonna spoil it.
Please don't.
Okay, let me subvert your expectations. It's really not that great. It's really not that great. But
It was so bad you cried.
It was so bad that I cried. No, the way that it's like it sucked, but like it was executed so well that like the last big scene in the movie, bro, I literally brought me to tears. Like I was like, just from like a cinematography and like visual perspective, like if you completely ignore the story, it was amazing, bro.
Interesting.
Oh my goodness. And then Tom Cruise just brings me to tears, bro.
Tom Cruise carries always.
Tom Cruise carries, bro.
Always.
It's such a good,
You think it's worth the watch?
100%. Yeah,
It's a whole series though, right?
Yeah, but you can watch it solo. They do a good job about like bringing it all together.
Okay.
You can watch it solo. And also, who cares about the story? It's Mission Impossible. The story's not very good. Just Tom Cruise is in a plane, jumping.
You got me.
Know,
You got me.
Good enough. His parachute. Anyways.
Awesome.
Let's see. I think you're next.
Oh, okay.
No way. Are you next?
Yeah, because I think
Yeah.
you did
Because
the.
I just answered.
When did you last cry? Yeah. So. Okay, well this one's. It says tell your partner something you like about them already. We kind of already.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with skipping this one if
Me
you
too.
want. 32. What, if anything, is too serious to be joked
32.
about?
We've gone through 10.
No, more than that.
Oh, yeah. My
Like
fault. All right.
13.
Say it one more time.
What, if anything, is too serious to be joked about?
I think I have a couple like moral things for myself that I won't joke about. But I don't know if there's anything objectively. I just think it's like a good joke makes two people laugh and they're not offended by it. You know what I mean? So
Stole the answer right out of my mouth.
yeah, so I think it's fine. But for me, morally, I won't make 9/11 jokes. I won't make jokes about women's weight, and I won't make racist jokes. Those are my 3 things.
That's
And
my
you-
forte. Yeah. No. I'm kidding, obviously. I'm kidding.
That's funny.
I totally agree with you. I mean,
Yeah.
it's basically if it's funny for both people, it's not harming any parties. It's not that there's anything objectively wrong to joke about.
Yeah.
It's just who you're joking about it and is it funny? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's not funny, then
Like if it makes both two people laugh and they're
Well,
not offended, that's
right.
great.
yeah, it doesn't even have to be funny to be a joke.
Yeah, to be a good joke.
Right. It doesn't have to be funny to be a joke, but it's not a joke if it's hurting other people, or at least not a good one. Mm-hmm. All
right, let's see.
I think you're number 33 right here.
33.
Yeah.
If you were to die, we're almost done. If you were to die this evening with no opportunity to communicate with anyone, what would you most regret not having told someone? Why haven't you told them yet?
Wow. It's a hard question. I'll say, I don't know what answer would be the best, because I don't know what I would do if I only had one opportunity. You know what I mean? But I don't know. The first
Wait,
one.
no, it's saying
What's the
if
question?
you were to die with no opportunity to communicate with anyone, what would you most regret not having told someone, and why haven't you told them yet?
Yeah. I don't know what I would most regret. I think I'd have to take a hard time, but I would say, honestly, for most of family and friends, I've said the things that I've wanted to say.
Me too.
I mean, there is like there's this girl that I used to talk to, that like we'll hang out occasionally once every couple of months. You know, we'll hang out, but we've been talking about doing this trip for a while, and she actually texted me about doing the trip this summer. That was like a couple of weeks ago, and I still haven't texted her back yet because I feel like I'm just like not too busy to go on the trip, but I don't feel like I'm ready to go on the trip yet. And so I'd regret not telling her that it's not that I'm don't like you, or it's not that I'm ghosting you, you know, it's just I don't feel like I'm ready personally to go on this trip. Yeah, something like that. All right, guys, we're back. It was a cut for you guys, but it was some technical difficulty for us, but I think we got it set up now, right?
Yep,
Okay.
we're good. Let's keep
We're
pushing.
all good, so let's keep going. So I just finished my answer. I think it's your turn.
What was the question?
I'll ask it again for you.
Yeah.
So, if you were to die this evening with no opportunity to communicate with anyone, what would you most regret not having told someone, and why haven't you told them yet?
Okay, so I was thinking about this while we were talking. I don't think I have told anybody something that I haven't told anyone something that I should have told them. I think I would regret telling my. I think what if I were to have died, or would be like, oh, I'm about to die, and I couldn't talk to anybody. I'd be like, I should have told my parents how much they meant to me and how much they did to me, you know, or did for me, did for me, and so that's my answer. And so I should probably tell them that.
Yeah, that's a good answer. I like this test just for the fact that it gets you thinking, these are the things I really need to do before I die. Like, you know, I'm going to die here soon. I need to finish this stuff done. But you ready for the next question?
Hit me.
All right, ready? So, number 34. Your house containing everything you own catches fire. After saving your loved ones and pets, you have time to safely make a final dash to save any one item. What would it be and why?
Okay, so
Oh God.
so just
Tactical pen.
my fidget spinner.
Yeah.
Just hear me out.
Crocs.
Yeah, the Crocs. One item. So I don't know. Maybe I should think about this longer, and maybe there would be an actual item. But the first thing that came to my mind, I don't really have too many pictures that are super valuable that aren't on my phone. You know, like none of that. Assuming I have my phone or no.
Nope.
My phone. Yeah.
Okay, then yes.
Oh, my computer.
Yeah, that's a good answer. I mean, you only get to choose one of the
One of the
hard drives,
terabytes.
though.
Yeah.
One of the hard drives.
The key. That's fine. Computer.
That's a hard.
yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
computer. That's probably the best answer, just because of the amount of history that you'd have on it.
Yeah, like
You know what I mean?
people are like, well, pictures. But
That's
if
what- that's all
loved
on my
ones are
computer,
good, and
yeah.
I get to go, like I wouldn't obviously go back in for the computer, but if for the sake of the question, computer.
Yeah, that would be the one time in my life that I'd ever say, man, I should have downloaded OneDrive before. This could be the one and only time that I'm ever gonna want OneDrive.
Yeah.
But honestly, I mean, my answer's the same as yours. There's nothing as sentimental to me
Not
than
physical. Yeah.
the information on that computer, I suppose.
If
So, yeah.
everybody's good, like,
Yeah.
and obviously I want to go back into a burning building to get the computer, but
I'd have to re-download my CS:GO hacks.
Bro,
That
that's what I'm
sounds like a
saying.
pain.
I have to re-download OBS. That's a freaking struggle.
Re-download OBS.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
see. What question are we on?
36.
35.
35.
Of all the people in your family, oh my goodness, bro. Of all the people in your family, whose death would you find most disturbing and why?
Disturbing?
Mm-hmm.
The death that I would find most disturbing would probably be my nieces and nephews, like my sister's kids, because I don't see. I mean, they're the most. First off, they're the most innocent to me. So if anything were to go wrong to them, it would be I think an unfortunate situation. So that sounds like the most disturbing to me. I mean, if the rest of my family were to die, I would absolutely hate it. It would be disturbing, but it would probably have more of a logical reason towards it, and so it would be less of a disturbing death if they were to die. I mean, I think if the innocent babies were to die, there would probably be some disturbing reason. So that would probably be my answer.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a good preface. Like, I'd be disturbed about anybody. I 100% agree. But for me, it'd be my dad, I think.
That'd be my.
Head of household, you know? Like, it's very traditional for my family. Like, he truly is, like, the breadwinner and the head of household. And so if I were to lose him, it'd be like, he did all this for us, and I didn't get to pay it back. You know?
Yeah.
Because I can say my affirmations to him and thanking him, but someday I'd like to be able to actually give back to him physically.
Yeah.
And so that would suck if I weren't able to do that. And also, he's average life expectancy is young, so I don't, that'd be very unfortunate because he's a very good man. So
Yeah, that'd totally be my answer if it wasn't nieces and nephews of my dad. It's just closer to him, closest to him as well.
Yeah. All right, hit me with the last
All right.
question, 36.
Last question, number 36.
Better be a good one.
After this one, we better be in love.
Yeah, I know.
Share a personal problem and ask your partner's advice on how they might handle it. Also, ask your partner to reflect back on... But let me restart. Let me restart the whole thing. Share a personal problem and ask your partner's advice on how they might handle it. Also, ask your partner to reflect back to you how you seem to be feeling about the problem you've chosen. So, ask your partner. So I'm going to ask you, you share a personal problem, and I'm going to give you advice on how to handle it. And then ask your partner to reflect back to you how you seem to be feeling about the problem.
We could skip the second, because I feel like the second part kind of goes into the thing.
Yeah, well, I feel like we'll answer that just answering the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Cool.
So.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm really struggling right now with these flies, bro.
Yeah.
I'm really struggling right now with, I'm spending insane amounts of time for me on Christianity and non-Christianity. I really am struggling with it. I think the data leads to Christianity isn't true. And now that is, that statement is very, that's a whole podcast. But from what I understand, Christianity is probably not true. From what I understand right now, I'm 20 years old. Don't listen to me, but I'm really struggling with that reality. And it's almost like, so Gavin Ortlund talks about this. He's like,
Who's Gavin Ortlund?
an apologist. So apologetics is the defense of the Christian faith. Apologist, okay. He's one of them. He talks about Christianity and non-Christianity, like Christian theism and non-Christian atheism are both beautiful. Or I'm sorry, that's not true. Are both plausible. Which I don't even know if I agree with that, but we'll say Christianity and Christian theism and non-Christian atheism are both plausible. But Christianity is the more beautiful one, and so there's more of a benefit in believing that. And he takes beauty into account when discussing truth. And I think that's a very interesting concept, and I'm curious your thoughts on that. But it's something I really struggle with, and I'm still undecided.
So what do you need advice on?
Just... That's the thing I'm going through right now. I don't know any particular advice.
I got you.
I guess I didn't really ask for advice. I don't know. That's a struggle for me.
Well, yeah.
Advice on do you think if something's beautiful or not, should that be accounted for or taken into account when considering if something's true or not? Or how I should live my life by something,
So I think there are two parts of that. The beautiful part and then how you should live your life by something. I mean, my advice to you would be I think first off, you're starting by going about it the right way. You're thinking about these things and you're trying to figure out as much information as you can before you're making your decision, right? And I think that's a great start. I think the best course of action and my advice would be don't keep as many doors open as you can. Continue to learn more about, also not just more about Christianity, but other religions as well. Continue to try to reap the positive aspects of Christianity and being a spiritual person in general, because I think there are good things that can help your life towards that, even away from the act of is God real or not, I think just God as an entity, just because people think he's real in the first place, that at the very least has some existence of God, because at least he's an entity and he does affect people's lives. So my advice is, keep your doors open. Realize that your opinions might change on it later in life. And I mean, I'd just say, well, first off, I mean, keep doing what you're doing and don't beat yourself up on it. I know that's easier said than done, but I mean, you know, it's something you got to do. But I definitely would say to keep trying to continue learning about the spiritual path, because it's definitely something that can help just the average person in general, you know, day-to-day life. Whether God is real or not, the spiritual path can be helpful and beneficial.
Yeah.
So continue going, keep your doors open, keep learning as much as you can about it. I think you're doing it pretty much right now, but
Cool.
yeah,
Thank
that's what
you.
I would say.
What you got?
Absolutely. So the question is, I guess I could use some advice on, I'm starting to realize, and I guess I always knew this to an extent, but I'm starting to realize just the true effect that school, like college, isn't really about learning anymore. I feel like it's or at least that I feel like that's not the main goal anymore. And so I'm trying to go through all of these classes, and I'm really trying to, like, not just learn it, but like trying to apply this to my life. Like, how am I going to use this? Like, why is it important to learn these things? And just time and time again, I'm sitting and I'm doing these assignments, and I'm getting frustrated that I'm never going to use this stuff in my life. I'm trying to apply this to my life, but it's just not working. But I need to learn this stuff. And it's very frustrating because I want to learn it and I want to carry it towards the future, but I feel like this stuff just doesn't apply to my life. So I guess I could use advice on trying to figure out how much time should I spend trying to learn these things, and how much time should I spend just knowing that it's just information I just got to learn for the test and that's it, you know. I struggle with that. That's hard sometimes for me. So I'm curious what you think.
Yeah, so I went through that a little bit ago, and eventually what I landed on was, I don't know if I think this is the same for you, but I'm not 100% sure. But I'll tell you what I did, and if you can take any takeaways from that, that would be great. Hopefully you can.
Yeah.
For me, when I was going through that same thing, I was basically deciding whether I wanted to drop out of college or not. Eventually I landed on no, after I really thought I was going to, and then I thought about it more. I'm like, maybe this isn't the greatest idea. The reason was because, and there's a lot of factors that go into this, which I can talk to you about off camera if you want, but I'm not going to talk about it on camera, about, I literally have, I say, believe it or not, there's a lot of factors that go into this, believe it or not, and I think you're the same way, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm spending less money per year, and I have more time on my hands in college than I would working a 40-hour-a-week job. For me, I don't know if you. I think you're the same. Maybe not. I don't know. But
Yeah, I'd say that.
that means that's true for you.
Sure.
That means that I have more time now to do the real thing that I actually want to do. For me, that's YouTube. And so college is in a very real way allowing me more time to do YouTube, because there isn't an alternative where I drop out of college and I don't work and I do nothing but YouTube all day. Right now, that can't happen. And so right now because I always wanted to be in like the optimal outcome, like the optimal position to just put my head down, work, and do nothing else, right? Like I always, used to fantasize about that. But I'm literally living that now, because I'm in the optimal outcome to where I have more time than I could ever have doing anything else ever, and I'm spending less money than I would alternatively. And so I'm in the perfect position now to just grind out the other stuff. And so the work that I'm doing in college is passing college is to allow me to do the other stuff. And so that is just a requisite to get the free time that I have to do the other stuff. And after college, instead of going to college, it'll be a part-time job, because YouTube won't be able to pay the bills after college. I've accepted that. And so I will have a part-time job or maybe a full-time job that allows me to pay the bills. I'm like, okay, the things I'm doing don't matter, but they actually do, because it allows me to do the other thing. And so should you try to get A's in college if your goal is not aligning with your degree? In my opinion, no, you should just try to pass college. But if you do have a goal that is like, okay, I need a degree to get here, then you max out your effort in college. You do everything you can, and you know, is this going to apply to future or not? And then obviously, like, if there's lessons you can learn in college that you can apply, but I feel like those will be more immediately evident than you trying to look for them. Like, and that's my opinion.
Awesome. Yeah, that actually helps a lot. I appreciate that.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
That was the
all
36
we had,
questions.
guys.
All right, we'll end it here. I hope you guys took some takeaways from this. This was really good for us. We might want to keep doing things like this where we have, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Let us know if you enjoyed this type of episode. We'll keep doing them because I had a lot of fun at least.
I did
doing
too.
kind
This
of
was
stuff.
great. This is probably my 2 favorite ones we've done on podcasts.
Absolutely.
But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Let us know what you want to see next. New podcasts every Thursday, and we upload YouTube videos on just Aohudis on YouTube every Monday. But yeah, stay safe, stay healthy.
I was gonna say it. Stay
Oh,
safe,
my
stay
fault.
healthy, guys.
Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Bye. You stole my line.
Sorry, my
Cannot
fault.
believe it. Can't
It's just gonna be an
believe it.
endless. It's just gonna be an endless.
Yeah.
What is it? Challenge.
Endless challenge. Yeah.
All right, sick.
Yes, sir.
I like that one.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
That worked out. Except for those flies, bro. I freaking. I wasn't.
I didn't even notice them.
I did, bro. Yeah, I didn't notice them last time we were here.
I noticed them actually, but
Oh, sick.